He said, cut the TV on, they got it.
So it's like, you gotta put that on the plastic or
Did it come out?
Yeah.
That's nice, okay.
Wasn't stopping till you got it.
There you go.
Camera quality is crazy.
We gotta get you right here.
If that wasn't like some cheese and crackers or anything, it's something
Okay.
okay.
Thank you.
We done made the post it.
Of course.
That came out good. That's a nice camera. Was it speaking or something? Can you hear me?
You put a switch on it.
He got the legit joint.
Oh, that thing is nice.
I don't know what it's doing.
It's
That's
just,
how you can see it from there.
it's gonna be like scoping.
We'll make sure everybody, y'all can go anywhere y'all want to go. We're gonna be, we're not in one place today, family. We're going everywhere. There we
That
go.
thing is like, the way it does, because he said, and I was just like,
See, I wanted to take that thing is expensive.
it is. That thing is nice. It just be like,
Yeah, you see all the little content creators.
We waiting for her. She started. I'm about to come up here.
So it's going from here and you connect it to every TV.
Yeah.
Let's see what y'all got going
No,
on.
I see, like, I will make definitely. That's like serious content creators. And like, that's a good way to have.
Sorry, welcome.
Hey, how you doing?
she's coming back to you.
Oh, okay. Okay, you want me to do
Y'all fancy and stuff. Where
Sure.
the real on this side? Can I sit down? Get to sit out? And chill?
This here at all times.
Can I sit down?
Ready? Come on.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Can you hear? Check, check. Don't sound like it.
It's a beet salad. I think it's like a
It's chicken salad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, one is regular and then the other one is the cranberries and
Oh,
the
okay.
nuts.
No, it's good.
Something for people that might not eat pork.
And the audio should move this lens. So you gotta use that.
All the way over there.
Right, you gotta get forever. And then it should like,
Oh, it's shifting already. There you go, Auntie. There we go. There we go. A little bit more.
And stuff.
Oh, it stays with it. It stays with it.
Wine and everything.
Perfect.
Nice.
Empty wine racks.
That's
Okay, check on the mic, Val. Test one,
There
test
we
two.
go. There we go.
Yes.
We good?
You good.
Okay. Hey y'all, thanks a lot for coming out. I'm Valerie Settles, and the name of the winery is Now Vibing with Val. Started out as Roseman Vineyards, but that's a whole nother story for another day. But I just want to thank everyone for coming and, traveling quite a distance. So I appreciate it. I started the winery July of 2023, and I've been going strong since then. Wine festivals, help keep the winery alive, working on increasing the foot traffic, but it's been a journey, and I think 2025 is my year. This is my year. So I got a lot of things, working on, and I got Dia over here, Miss Winery. Y'all take care of her today, because when I'm not here, she's it. She holds it down. So I just wanted to, give you a little background. I didn't start this business traditional way. I didn't have any funding. Funding was me. Use my own money, what I had, and my 0% interest credit cards is what I did. I just balance transfer 0, and I kept moving it, and that's what I did, and it worked, you know. But that's only because my credit was good, and I tried to keep it good, you know, along the way. Ooh, got some music. We good? Okay, so yes, but I just wanted to give you a little background. You know, it can be done. It's a lot of work. It's a lot. It's a lot of paperwork. You know, getting an ABC license. They put you through quite a bit. State, feds, the local. So, but in the end, you know, I just kept on. I said, hey, I'm too far in. I'm not giving up. So I am here. Now you know where the winery is. You can come back, tell your friends, and I thank y'all for coming out. I appreciate it. This is you got a nice turnout today. And I just want to introduce Trevor Alexander.
Thank you, Val.
All right, all right.
Oh, not yet.
Alrighty, good afternoon, everybody. Everybody hear me okay? All right, smooth. First and foremost, want to thank Ms. Val for hosting us here again. Danelle, of course, Javon. It's funny, I just moved down here a couple months ago, and I've known Javon, Danelle for years. I had no idea this winery was right here. I'm like, my mom spends so much on wine per month. My wife does, so I'm glad that we got a new home right around the corner that we can support and advocate for. It's a beautiful venue, and looking forward to a good afternoon. So, all right, make sure we got notes. So, again, my name is Trevor Alexander. Born and raised in Virginia. Been around the country a lot, but back here at home now. I'm back in Northern Virginia. So, first and foremost, I don't know if she mentioned it. If you don't already, you got blush. We got a blush and a red complimentary. So, get yourselves comfortable, have a drink. After the first complimentary drink, if you want more, there's a full menu to support the venue itself. I have about 20 minutes, so I'm going to touch 4 core topics, go through them, and then I'll be here throughout the rest of the evening, of course. So I'm really here for y'all. Before I jump in, I've got some qualifying questions, right? So I'm going to run through a list of questions. From there, I'm going to tell y'all what I believe in. We're going to talk about what I believe in. Sorry, what you say?
Eat the mic, you can't hear me.
Mic check, is that better? Oh, really? Okay. All right, that's much better. Okay, so first I'm gonna start with what I believe in my time as an investor. Second, I'll tell my story so that y'all know it and y'all can learn lessons from it. Third, I'll give you a framework, which I call the V-Savers framework. It's my framework for getting your first $1 million in assets or taking whatever your goal is and applying it to your own life, most importantly. And then fourth, I'll let you know different ways to work with me if it's ever a good fit. But before I jump in, I've got some qualifying questions, just by show of hands. Who currently works a 9 to 5 in here? Okay, majority of us. Who is currently using some type of platform to track your spending, household net worth, balance sheets, assets? Is it Excel spreadsheets? Is anybody using anything that they can look at right now and know how much they spent this month, what their assets are? Anything? Okay. Who has life insurance? And that can be through your job too. We'll talk about it a little bit. Who has at least $100 invested in the stock market, either through your job or through your personal accounts? Okay. Who has at least $100 in a cryptocurrency? Who wants to buy their first home within the next 2 years? Who wants to sell a home in the next 2 years?
I ain't got a home.
Okay. Last few questions. Who has a family member, a cousin maybe, a son, a daughter, a parent, that you want to help pay off their mortgage. You're not worried about yourself as much right now. You want to pay off a family member's mortgage. All right, cool. Who is currently paying down credit cards? That's the entire country right now. Everybody shouting. All right. Who is paying student loans? The deferred forbearance. Anybody? All right, cool. Last question. Who currently has opened and funded a trust before? Okay. All right, so my main reason for those questions, right, is because nothing that I say or anybody else says matters unless it's in the context of what you're trying to get done. That's all that matters. It's a reason that we call personal finance personal, because it should be based on your own goals. And as I'm about to get into what I believe, I started at the foundational level, right? If anybody picked up the questions that I just asked, we started at a foundational level, cash flow. You can't invest, you can't do anything if you don't have cash flow. It all comes down to, do you work a 9 to 5? Do you work for the government? Do you have some money coming in? It's impossible to do anything without some money coming in. On top of cash flow comes insurance, right? We got our money coming in, we got renter's insurance, we got homeowner's insurance, we got car insurance. And why would we need insurance before even investing? To cover yourself, right? If you think about anybody with wealth or that's growing wealth, the goal is to play offense, but the goal is also to play defense. What use of it is having $50K inside of a retirement account if your car, crashes and now you got to replace an entire, Honda, right? What use of it is having a $500,000 home if you don't have home insurance on it? You can be starting back from the bottom. So play a little bit of defense, right? Next on the pyramid, we're going to cash flow, insurance, ask investment questions. That's the middle piece. We want to start looking at, are we tracking our investments right? What are our assets? Where's this money at? What's our return, right? Fourth is debt, and then fifth is trust and estate planning and legacy. You see people get older, they've got their house. Y'all can take notes or write this down. I'm gonna send out a lot via email to everybody as well who attends today. Last but not least is the trust, right? And just making sure that we're able to move all those assets that we have protected and build over time into something that we want to, transfer, right? All right, cool. So thank y'all for participating in those questions, right? It gives me a visual. So number one, what do I believe? I believe that money in the hands of good people makes our world a better place. So many people, especially from Black and brown communities, they may think millionaires are evil by nature, that people who have money they didn't get it the right way. That's not true, right? I believe money in the hands of good people makes our world a better place. So I want more money and people around me to have money because they're good people. Number two is there's just nothing wrong with being rich. There's absolutely nothing wrong with being rich, and you can define what that is. And then number three, I see a lot on social media, bashing sometimes jobs. You can be wealthy working a 9 to 5. You can be wealthy being self-employed. And you can be a wealthy entrepreneur. You can get to wealth in any of those lanes as long as you're doing it in a manner that makes sense. All right, so for my story, again, I grew up right in Dumfries, Virginia. Always had an affinity for investing in money. Went down to Old Dominion in Norfolk, Virginia, 2011, where I studied information systems. Really wanted to start making my job my first investor. So my bachelor's was in computer network engineering. I told myself that IT would be cool, but the main reason was that I knew that my 9 to 5 would be the first investor. Right? It's hard to get money, especially for Black people. Right? Less than 1% of all capital goes towards Black businesses. So our only option sometimes is to fund our own dreams. So after going there, first financial mistake that I made, straight out of school, was I had a life insurance policy sold to me that wasn't for me. Who in here has ever heard about being your own bank before? Right? Now, it is a legitimate concept. It works. You can fund these policies. There's all types of rules. I'm licensed in life insurance. I'm licensed as a realtor. All that good stuff. But it was sold to me at 23 years old. Put $7,000 in over about a year and a half. Looked up, didn't have enough cash value to actually execute on what I needed to do, which was buying a house at the time. Mistake number one. What did that teach me? It's rule number one of my investing principles. Write it down. Never invest in anything that you do not understand. Just don't do it. Don't do it. Doesn't matter who tells you to do it. If you do not understand what is inside your portfolio, you will lose. And the reason why is because when things get tough when investing, you're more likely to sell off the things. You're more likely to get rid of the things that you don't understand. And most people, even very smart, wealthy people, 90% of making money is emotional, right? We see things come down and we decide to sell it. But if we really knew and understood and believed it, we wouldn't sell grandma's house, right? Because we knew that neighborhood is actually a solid neighborhood, right? That stock that went down when Apple pulls back from 120 to 98, we don't go sell our Apple stock. We know that iPhones are still good. We know that the MacBook is still a good product. It's temporary, right? It's like being in a relationship. If you got a really, really good woman, a really good man, and y'all get in one argument, you're not gonna just leave that person off a small argument about dishes, right? So all of this works the same, right? It's only when you don't understand something that you start to make bad decisions. So that's rule number one. And that was my first mistake, right? But after that, it made me really double down on learning anything that I would put money into, which leads me to rule number two. It was around stock market investing. You can become a very successful stock market investor by simply buying things around your house. There's a famous book that came out in the 80s called One Up on Wall Street. Anybody ever heard of it? Not a real popular book, but it's a book that just basically explained that by simply going through, welcome in. What this book explained is that sometimes stock market investing can seem like a lot to us, but I promise you, if you just take your bills, and that's why I asked everybody, what are you doing right now to track your investments or track what you're spending money on, is that exercise. If you just look at your bills, like who banks at PNC, Wells Fargo, Navy Federal, M&T Bank, Bank of America, right? If you go print off your December bank statement, December and January, and go look at every place you go spend money at, right? And then you ask yourself, if I go get a little bit of ownership in each of these companies, and you do nothing else but do that for the next 10 years, and I see you in 10 years from now, you're probably gonna be doing pretty well. Just think about that. If you go from the last 10 years, from 2015 to now, and think about every company that you've ever spent money with, if you had a little bit of ownership in those companies, you will probably have 100, 200, 300% return on your investment. It's literally that simple. And I went to school to get a graduate degree at Morgan State in finance with a 3.8, worked at JP Morgan, but I went all around the block just to come back and say, just invest in what you're using every day. I played high school football. Me and Danelle, before he moved up to Maryland, I played linebacker. We saw how long Chipotle lines were getting. Everybody saw how long Chipotle lines were getting, right? It did not take somebody that need to go get a PhD in finance to say, man, Chipotle stock is $98. It's at like $3,000 now. For every $98 you put in when I was playing high school football, and I'm not that old, it's worth like $3,000 today, right? These rules aren't changing in the next 10 to 15 years. None of this stuff is changing. These are principles 101. All right, so let's keep rolling. We wanted to give you all some exercise. So the exercise from that was what? What should you be doing?
Invest in the things that you can put money into.
Invest in the things you put money into, right? And in your neighborhood, right?
Don't invest in what you don't understand.
Don't invest in what you don't know. And what is one way that you can identify what you already spending money on?
I'm going to look at what you bank statements.
My man, yep. Go and look at your bank statements. It is a slow thing. It's what a lot of our parents and grandparents used to do. Log into your app, print your stuff out, do what you got to do, but go back and look at how much you spent, right? If I know my bills are $16,000 a month or $3,000 a month, I need to know where I'm spending that and do I have ownership in it, right? All right, cool. So pivoting a little bit. So after I left ODU, started working, bought that terrible policy that wasn't for me. It was sold to me. Got rid of that, started investing, right? Mainly through a Roth IRA at that standpoint, and a little bit into a 401k. Realized that I was gonna be moving up to Baltimore, actually where me and Danelle ended up reconnecting. So when I got up to Baltimore, that's when I started to look at real estate a little bit differently, right? Who's all here in the Northern Virginia area? Anybody Northern Virginia based? Who's DC based? And who's Maryland based? Okay, so we pretty split across the board right now. What I would say right now, yes, things are changing. Real estate is very different from what it even was 5 years ago. But number one, if you can find any area, right, and this is easier, of course, for remote workers, you just got to ask yourself, is that area appreciating? I was trying to save up to buy a home in Northern Virginia, which I ultimately ended up coming back to. But when I moved to Baltimore, what do you think the first thing that everybody told me to do, or not to do? Don't mess with Baltimore.
Yeah.
Don't mess with Baltimore, right? Don't listen to people who don't make money for real. That's rule number 3. Don't listen to people who don't make money, right? If that person is not where you want to be, don't really listen to them. I promise you. You got to bet on America at the end of the day, right? America 20 years from now is going to be more valuable than it is today. I got family in deep parts of North Carolina. My family was slaves in Southampton, Virginia. We all know people up in Maryland. I know people, but most of these places are more valuable than they were 20 years ago. And you got to start somewhere, right? When we look at areas like Fairfax County, Alexandria, Prince William County, certain parts of Maryland, if you're starting today, the reason it's difficult is because you're competing against 2-3 generations, right? You're competing against real wealth, right? It isn't difficult for no reason. And so I simply share that to anybody. If you find yourself in a place where you may not know if it's like a good investment, you do got to do your homework, but at the same time, don't overthink it, because most things in this country do appreciate, right? Unless they're just terrible places, right? So when I went up there, one thing I kept doing is working multiple jobs, right? That's just another thing, especially for anybody, is it's gonna take the best of you if you're really trying to get ahead in investing, right? I didn't care that I had a degree in engineering. The first thing when my dad dropped me off in Baltimore, he said, you know what? Look at all these yards up here. I don't care about your degree. How can you get an extra $500 a week cutting grass and then put that more towards Bitcoin? You know what I mean? We have to continue to hustle like ever before without burning ourselves out. We're still keeping our mental peace, but when you start to see what investing can do for you by putting money into things that you already use, it just motivates you to like up the ante, right? It just motivates you to continue to go out and get a second hustle, maybe even a third stream of income, and continue to move that along, right? So when I got up there again is when ran into Danelle, we started talking. I just purchased my first house, and that was really student rental. So if anybody ever wants like a student rental blueprint, I have an entire blueprint. I'll send y'all videos as well, PDFs, but I got into college rentals, right? Who knows that interest rates are pretty high right now? For real estate investors, our biggest concern right now, and interest rates affect everybody, right? Credit cards have gone up from 23% to 29%. Personal loans have gone up from 12% to 18%. It's all expensive. But when I moved up to Baltimore, specifically focused on student housing, because I knew that if things ever got more expensive from a rate standpoint, I would still be able to cash flow, right? If you look anywhere within 45 minutes of DC, PG County, right? Moco, Fairfax County, Arlington, you go buy your rental right now, 9 times out of 10, you're not cash flowing. You go buy a townhome for $500,000 in Woodbridge right now, and you put 80 down, right? Your mortgage is still $2,800, $2,900, and maybe you get a renter in there for $2,600, right? Right now, it's difficult to cash flow on real estate, so you do got to be creative. You do got to look at markets maybe that give you opportunities to make that money, right? So that's another way that I'm here for you guys, right? Is to help break down deals. If you see something, right? I'm currently up to my 5th rental property. These 5 rental properties. Thank you. But it's about knowing your numbers. It's about knowing your numbers and being able to work backwards from it, right? Those 5 rental properties bring in approximately $13K per month. That's $156K per year, but on that $156K a year, I'm really only bringing in about 25 of that, right? 25 to 30K per year out of 156K top line, right? So we're working at about 20 to 30% profit margins. For every $100 that come in, it's really about $20 in profit, and then you're preparing for the next opportunity, right? So it's about knowing your numbers. If you don't know your numbers, what do you think you should do if you're having problems with your numbers? Write it down. What else?
CPA.
Say it again.
CPA.
If you're having problems with your numbers, what else should you go do? I heard CPA. Write it down. What else? Get an accountant. Y'all are all right. Is go talk to the smartest 3 people that you know that are actually doing it. If you're struggling with your numbers, there's somebody out here who cares enough about you to just say your numbers look good or your numbers are off. At the end of the day, we're all here to make some more money and do good. And if your numbers aren't tight, you will lose money in any investment, right? Especially in real estate. It's nothing that you can just jump out and say, oh, I think I'm gonna make 32K here, but then for real, someone else looks at it and say, you're gonna make 8K. Like, don't go do that for 6 months, you're gonna make $8,000. All right, cool. So let's keep on rolling. How we doing on time? Got about 10 minutes? 5, 10 minutes?
It's up to you.
Okay. All right, so how did I do that, right? How did I buy 5 rental properties, and what would I recommend for someone that's trying to get started, right? Step number 1 is identify your top 3 areas that you would buy a property in, right? And don't overthink this. Treat this like the stock market. If you got an iPhone and you eat Chipotle, that's what I want you buying stock in. If you lived in a certain neighborhood before, then I maybe want you to invest in there. I don't want you to go look further and go, someone says, like, I never lived in Southern Maryland in my life. I lived in Northern Virginia, Houston, New Orleans, and Baltimore. So when someone comes to me and says, you want to invest in PG County, I know PG County is great, but I don't invest in PG County because I don't really know PG County. You know what I mean? Just like I wouldn't want somebody from PG going to invest in Chicago, Illinois if they don't know it or have somebody there. So step number 1 of what I would do is write down your top 2 to 3 areas that you're looking at. Step number 2 from there is sync up with a real estate professional to help you run the numbers. One that has an investment mindset, because not all real estate professionals actually invest in real estate, right? From there, if the numbers check out, then you got to start to ask yourself, step number 3, how am I going to fund this opportunity? The cheapest way to get started in real estate investing is simply by house hacking. By going in, getting an FHA loan, doing 3 to 5% down, and then just buying the property for yourself, renting it out, and then repeating, right? You don't have to bring 20% down to the table to actually get an investment property. It can be a house that you live in, and then you move out, right? That is literally how I built my first 5 houses. 3 of them I've lived in, right? Because I didn't have the money to actually go find 20%. If you can just follow those, then you have a neighborhood. You should know your funds. You should know your funds. And because most of us work a 9 to 5 in here, this can come from your 401k. For my teachers, this can come from your 403b. For my government workers, this can come from your TSP. Or it can come from private lenders, right? It can come from, hey, Trevor, hey, Danelle, hey, so-and-so that you know. I see this opportunity. If you think it's good, would you be willing to loan money, right? Those are just a handful of places that money can come from. And I know that Danelle and the other gentleman this evening, they're going to be talking about using like credit cards and stuff as well, right? Val just said that she was able to, really to help jumpstart this by the use of credit cards. And that's legitimate, right? Like sometimes we can't get money from our own people. Sometimes we shouldn't be asking money from our family or friends. So we do got to start to build those relationships with the banks in case we need that to sometimes bridge the gap. So what I do know, from 6 years of like real estate investing and 10 years of stock market investing is that if you're doing the homework or if you found a really like solid deal, the money will find you, right? Everybody out here is chasing the return on investment. So if you find something good, it's not difficult to find the money for it, right? All right, cool. Let's keep on rolling. All right, so this third piece that I'm gonna give y'all is just my simple framework and some tools that I recommend, right? So really, y'all can write this down, and then as I wrap things up, it can just be, how you can actually work with me. All right, so the framework that I recommend that you use as like a mind model is called V Savers. It's V-E dash the word savers, S-A-V-E-R-S. Once again, that's V-E Savers. The V stands for vision. The V stands for vision. My vision is to ABC by XYZ by this day, right? Without that, it is extremely difficult to do anything, right? Do you want to be a real estate investor? Okay, what does that mean? You want to flip? You want to wholesale? Do you want to buy rental properties in Spotsylvania? Do you want to do tax liens in Upper Marlboro? Do you want to buy commercial real estate in Manhattan, New York, right? Vision is so important. Vision also helps you keep your mental clear, because if your vision isn't clear, you get on social media, you'll be pissed off, right? You get on social media without a clear vision, it will start to mess with you because everybody else is sharing their vision with you, right? So the V is for vision. Next is the E. E is for education. All right, so the education follows vision. Once you define your vision, then you can start to take specific routes on getting education. So if you got a vision to do better with the stock market over the next 5 years, I recommend you go to investopedia.com. That's investopedia.com, right? That's gonna give you the education to actually know what you're investing in, right? If you want to buy your first home, I recommend you listen to Bigger Pockets. You listen to Earn Your Leisure, right? You listen to real estate related things, right? They got different types of, subjects and subtopics, but it always goes back to that vision, right? And that's why I say education next. The other piece of education, we all need to hear this sometimes, is if you are working at a company, you can't stop investing in yourself, right? You can't stop investing in yourself. Yes, you should be knowing, not saying you're trying to leave that place, right? Because there's some companies and government that pay real good out here. I know a lot of people who work that make a lot more than entrepreneurs too. But what we got to ask ourselves is, sometimes our best investment is just going to get another certification. Sometimes our best investment is just going to get another, taking another class, right? If somebody comes to me and they says, I got $1,000, where should I invest it at? And they're under age 30, 9 times out of 10, that $1,000 is better suited going into learning a skill set of their job than it is into the stock market. You know what I mean? I come from an IT background. If I got to take $500 and pay for a Security Plus certification that's going to bump my salary up to $75,000 versus taking that $500 and putting it somewhere else, then you start to see how that money, you got to look at it that, right? All right, the third is S, which stands for savings rate. Can anybody take a guess? What is the average American savings rate? So if somebody gets $100 in America, what is the average amount they save out of $100?
1%.
1%, 2%? Zero? $2? Any other guesses? I'm hearing 1, 2, 0.
Under 5%.
Under 5%? All right, I'll take that as the best answer. Y'all were all in the same ballpark. America traditionally has about a 3.5% to 4% savings rate, right? Can anybody guess when America hit the highest savings rate in our nation's history?
COVID. Yeah, COVID.
March of 2020. So March of 2020, America hit like a 20% savings rate. So everybody got scared and then started saving their money. We went from 4% up to 20%. So that's why I said that's number 3, is that if you can just be aggressive with your savings rate, it's gonna save you, right? Like my man, shout out Gucci Man, rapper Gucci Man. He said he posted something on Twitter. He was like, "Save your money so it can save you."
Yes.
Save your money so it can save you, right? The Swiss are the highest or the wealthiest people in the world right now per capita, and it's not even because they own the most real estate. They have the highest savings rate, right? Like everything I'm talking about is very simple stuff for the most part, because just think about it again. If you were to think about your last 15 years of life, all the bills you got to pay, your water, your electricity, your rent, your car note, your oil, your gas, and you just said to yourself, what if I just found a way to pay myself 15% of my gross income? What if I just found a way? Who would be kind of okay right now? Who would be kind of like better than they are today? That's like most people. Now, is it difficult? Is it simple? It's simple, right? It's not always easy. It's not easy because we're not trained to put away 10 to 15% of our income. But that's why you do see people out here with $500,000 in a 401k. They're not smarter than any of us. They just started working in the government when they were 25. They looked up, they were 60. But that money was being saved. They were putting that away ongoing. So your homework there is just ask yourself, take a second right now and think, how much money are you going to make in 2025? Everybody has a ballpark, right? We're at the top of the year. Think about the number that comes to your head right now. How much money you think you're going to make this year, realistically? Just think about it. Now ask yourself, how much of that is yours to keep? And I want you to use your gross income, right? Disregard taxes, because there's some plays that we can get around and circumvent that. But think about your gross income. If you got a salary of 40K, if you got a salary of 80K, if you got a salary of 60 or 150, I want you to think about that number and then think about how much of that would you like to keep. right? If you can work backwards from those numbers, then that's like half the battle. We all know somebody that makes $200,000 a year that has a 1% savings rate, of saving $2,000 and can't figure out their way. Just like we all know somebody who makes $60K a year who has found a way to save $15,000 a year, and they got good. You know what I mean? So savings rate is the cornerstone of a lot of this, because if you don't pay yourself first, then we can't even really get into more complicated topics, right? These last three I'll roll through real quick because I want to be respectful of time, and I'll let y'all know how y'all can work with me. The last three is variety, just making sure you got diversification. Equities, which is AKA for stocks, just making sure your equities are represented in what you're already using. Real estate, and then sustainability. So that framework again is V is for vision, E is for education, S is for savings rate, V is for variety, E is for equities, R is for real estate, and S is for sustain. Sustain just simply means that even as life comes up, as changes happen, you adapt to them. But sustain also means that don't go do all the hard work of buying real estate, making your stock market portfolio jump, but not set up the proper channels to actually pass it on to that next generation. So in closing, y'all, if you ever want to work with me, it's really three ways right now. Number one, if you want to buy or sell some real estate, especially right here in Fredericksburg, Spotsylvania, I'm y'all go-to guy. Our team will do about $70 million in real estate throughout the DMV this year. We got listings as far south as Spotsylvania, as north as PG County. We got a couple coming in PG County, one in DC, a handful of, so we sell a lot of real estate. If you ever need true real estate advice in regards to buying, selling, investing, especially down here, I can be your go-to guy. Number two is life insurance. Most people here do not have life insurance when they raise their hands, right? Look, we all from the same communities. We all know at least 10 people in the last 5 years who passed away before the age of 65. All of us do. I'm 32 and I can name 6 who passed away, right? At minimum, some term life insurance, right? There's no reason any of us should be passing a mortgage that shouldn't be paid off, right? $1 million for a healthy woman or man shouldn't cost you anywhere between $60 to at most $100. I pay $140 a month for $3 million in coverage, because if I die today, I need $2 million paid off in real estate, and I need $1 million in my mom's hands, right? $140 a month. I'm gonna spend that we're gonna spend that anyway. You know what I mean? So if you need life insurance, I'm licensed in Virginia, DC, Maryland, Texas, Illinois, North Carolina, and Georgia and Kentucky soon. And last but not least, I just run a simple club as well, right? If you don't know where you really want to start, or you're just kind of like day to day with it, you just want to be tapped in with me. Every Thursday I do a private session. We talk about really core topics. Of course, it's real estate related, but it's also what stocks should you be buying. I show you my stock market portfolio. Why do I put this amount of money in Bitcoin? This is how I'm just every Thursday showing people what I'm actually doing, because sometimes it's too much to meet one-on-one with people. So it's $12 a month, and that's for, Lord knows, just the group of people, my tribe, that wants to pick my mind, but do it in a way that also works out for their schedule. So if any of these, sound good to you, I'll be around all evening. This is family, at this point, right? I've known everybody, a lot of people in here for 10 plus years. So, if you ever just got a general question, I ain't gonna charge you, just come talk to me, and we're gonna figure it out. And if you need real implementation, then we'll take it there. But that's all I got for y'all today. Look forward to being around the rest of the evening, and much love to you.
Thank you, Trevor.
Thank you, Val.
Thank you, Trevor. Up next, we have Danelle Hines, my nephew.
Good.
Hey, right, mic check. Cool. How everybody feeling tonight? So I know we got some people from Roanoke. Shout out to my boy D. Shout out to everybody in the Nova family. We did it for y'all for a reason, because, small story to start. I'm from Woodbridge, Virginia. Most people think I'm from Maryland or DC, but it's really here. So it feels good to really be sitting on my aunt's winery. Helped her fund it, helped her really get some things acclimated. So it's kind of like cool to really be sitting here, but with the moment of nostalgia, I just want to make sure that you understand that my name is Danell Hines, and I'm the business coach and CEO of Secure Consulting LLC, where you invest in self, you invest in your wealth. I got some gum in my mouth, so give me 1 second, because I don't want to. And yes, you know, I'm going to keep this in my hand the whole time, but now I'm talking a lot more clearly. I want you to make sure y'all heard me. But again, my name is Danell Hines, and I'm the business coach and CEO of Secure Consulting LLC, where you invest in self, you invest in your wealth. Tonight, I just wanted to make sure that I just want to say thank y'all. Like literally everybody, thank y'all for coming. It's a blessing, right? We came from a long way. 2.5 years we've been doing this, man, and it's a blessing, right? But I wrote some things tonight. I don't got my laptop, you know why? Because we're here for y'all. So, you know, we try to live stream on YouTube and give everybody a different angle. So I wrote some things. But my first question I want to ask, because if you do know me, I really believe in it. Raise your hand if you know what your credit score is currently today. Okay. So I don't like to have that face of credit, right? But that's what I have. And I'm cool with that because there's not many 30-year-old black men that take it that serious, right? So I have to just really start with that, because if you don't know where you are, you don't know where you can go. Because if you don't know, the fastest way to wealth is credit. Right? If you follow my journey for the last 2.5 years, which has been a phenomenal story. February 2022, I lost $50,000. Well, $50,000 was taken from me, right? So, you know, looking at your mom, my brother who's in attendance today, it feels good to see y'all, like, not even understand that I can't even look at them in their faces to, like, being depressed for 6 months, right? And then I remember July 2022, I did something I never did before, right? I'm going to give y'all a lot of game today, but you got to know why I'm here today, right? July 22, I had a mental breakdown, hit my super bottom. I mean, butt to the barrel, where I could feel the small cracks in the middle. It was that bad. And I prayed to God. And I didn't ask. I told him how, right? I said, tell me how, and whatever it is, I'm going to do it. And unfortunately, and then I hope you see this, big bro, but unfortunately, 30 seconds later, a man named Lamont Lashley Jr. sent me a text. He's in class in the next 2 hours, bro. What's up? If y'all know my big bro, you know I was like, God dang it, you ain't about to do this to me right now. And not right now, especially when, again, $50K was taken. I had to get a tooth surgery. That was $3,600. And the person left me with only $1,800, right? So it's about risking it on yourself, right? It's like literally, if what you're asking me is all I got, then let me give it to you, right? August 5th was my last day of the class. Now, a lot of y'all not. I asked him, can I do everything you just taught me? He said, go for it. And now I'm in front of y'all talking to y'all about how to get your credit situated, how to get access to your first $50K in business funding or personal funding, and how to actually be able to change your family's life through not only money, because it's not about money. It's about COD. What's COD, right? Knowledge, information, value, education. It's not about money, right? Because if it was about money, I think the world would be a lot better, right? But it's the men and the women that take the time to read for 8 hours and really study their craft and not chase that dollar. So I do want to shout out Trevor for that, because, you know, he did say, we met back in Morgan, right? That's where we met. I seen the bald head, back your bald head by Hillfield House. Yelled out, Trevor, is that you, Trevor? And he turned around. I think that was God, bro. I don't believe in coincidences, but like something changed that day, right? And it's crazy because it leads to my second topic. Trevor had an investment property. I didn't know what it was. And you remember that day we talked, big bro?
Yeah.
Hey, Danell, how much should I rent my rooms for? It got to be $1,000 because I'm paying $914 a month at Morgan View. You remember that? And he charged for, I think it was like $850, right?
Yeah.
I could have killed him. But I'm going to tell you why I didn't. Because we have to help our people. And it's sad that most people don't understand that as young men and women, we have the power, right? So I moved, right? Graduated, did all that, right? Money got taken, got into a mentorship, made my 5K back in 29 days. I have the receipts. Called Javon up, right, and said, Javon, I think the information that we learned about this is working, right? So now today's January 25th, 2025. I would like to say that I actually sold my first house last night at 9 p.m.
Yes, sir. 330,000. That boy's getting to it. That's all right.
And I'm not gonna cry because
You cry. You can cry. You're not a man if you don't cry.
I always say people don't have faith in me, but somebody told me last night stop saying that. Didn't have faith in myself. And I think a lot of people need to start understanding that it's you and it's not them, right? It's you versus you every day. And you have the power to make the choice of saying yes or no. And most of us take 90% of our time to say no, when the reality is sitting right in front of your face to say yes. And that yes only makes a change. When you say no, nothing changes, right? So, and hopefully my guest speak, God is good because I'll be quiet. But long story short, let me continue because it's a lot going on in my head for us. It's great. Why did y'all come here today? Credit. Write this down real quick, y'all, because we're about to get serious tonight. Equifax, TransUnion, Experian, under fire right now. I've known that since August 2002, 2023. Nobody knew that before Danell Eric Hines Jr., and I can stamp that. Now, why do you need to know that information? 15 United States Code 1681 C-2 parentheses A, blocking of unverifiable information or identity theft, right? Listen to me, family. I've cleaned credit reports in less than 2 days, maybe even a day. 10, 20 accounts, repos, bankruptcies, child support, you name it, using just that one code alone, right? Now let me finish. If you go to EquifaxDataBreachSettlement.com, right, and you type in your last name and the last 6 of your social, and it says the word, "Dear client, you have been breached or impacted by this data breach," you can wipe your whole credit report in 2 days or less. And that's just Equifax, right? So we still got
Say it again. You gotta say that again. That's deep.
EquifaxDataBreachSettlement.com. If you scroll to the bottom, and I'm true to this, I'm not new to this. I don't got my laptop today. This is what I live, right?
Hey, tell them the website one more time.
Slow down.
Slow down.
All right, so
Everybody
look.
writing it down.
Go to Google and go to Equifax Data Breach. That's all you do. Just go to Google, Equifax Data Breach. And you can also see it in my school group, which we'll talk about later because you'd have had that information about 4 months ago, but we'll talk about that later. Equifax Data Breach on Google, and it's going to say EquifaxDataBreachSettlement.com. Scroll to the bottom. It's going to be a green box. It's going to say you're past the deadline. You're actually not. You just can't get the money. But you can clean your credit report in less than 2 days if you keep listening, right? And I don't got my laptop because that's why we're on YouTube today. Don't touch it, please. But go to Equifax Data Breach, scroll down to the green, type in your last name and last 6 of your social. Let me stop right quick because my guy's here, and I'll stop for only this man today. Jalen, I just see you. Where you at? Hey, let's go. Let's go. Bring your butt in here. I would only stop for this man because, we'll introduce him later. You go ahead and take a seat right there. But,
Look what he got on too, y'all. Look what he got on.
so, where was I at? So that's just Equifax, right? Now let's go to Experian. Now, I didn't forget anything. After tonight, my Instagram is Danell Will Win. If you was here,
What's the code?
what's the code? What code? Code for what? So look, Equifax Data Breach. Go to Equifax Data Breach on Google. You'll see it. It's the first link. When you click that, scroll to the bottom, click the green box. It's your last name and last 6 of your social. Perfect. Take a picture of that document, and all you need to do is do 6 things. Write these 6 things down. And if this don't work, I'll let y'all down. So first things first, you need an FTC report. Who knows what an FTC report is? Say it again. Federal Trade Commission. Do y'all know that's the Real Credit Bureau? Let me ask y'all a question. Can somebody tell me all 3 credit bureaus right now? Fast as you can.
Experience transfusion. Or
Transfusion.
Sorry, transfusion.
All y'all are wrong. Wait, wrong. You thought you was right. Wrong. FTC. Okay, give me one more. They're suing the Experian and Equifax and TransUnion. CFPB. These are real credit bureaus. Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian are meddling snitches that report our mistakes and don't give us a chance to make something happen to it. So guess what? I'm the man that exposes the real, and we get that off the report in less than 2 days. They're credit reporting agencies. I'll say it one more time. And if you don't believe me, go to law.cornell.law.edu. Cornell. I'm giving y'all a lot of game tonight, which I shouldn't really, because y'all can put me out of business, and I want y'all to do that. Y'all, I want y'all to all, literally, I'm giving y'all so much game tonight, put me out of business, right? Cornell.law.edu. And you want to look at subchapter 41, and it's going to say right there, credit reporting agencies. They have laws, people, and these laws govern what they can do to us. And if they don't listen to us, we can go for arbitration, litigation, or just remove everything from our credit reports. I gave y'all one. Cornell, so like the school, look, the school Cornell, right? CORNELL.law. 41. And if you can't find that, the first consumer law I gave y'all, which was 15 United States Code 1681C-2 parentheses A, put that in Google and it will pop right up.
Right, I couldn't remember that one. One more time.
15, I got you.
Yep.
United States Code 1681 C-2 parentheses A. If you type that in on Google and that first link that pops up, you click that, you'll see chapter 41. They have a buttload of so many codes. That's how I got into my circle. Like, consumer law saved my life. Credit changed my life. Consumer law changed my life. I really want y'all to listen to that, right? My mentors are 35 to 32-year-old black millionaires in Chicago investing in millions of dollars of real estate. When he told me, Lamont said, yo, bro, you gotta find your way, you gotta figure it out. Where'd you meet these guys at? We're about to have a real intimate conversation tonight. Okay. My twin asked me where did I meet my mentor at. I'm not ashamed to admit this. I used to spend 16 hours a day on Xbox playing 2K. And I promise y'all, nobody in here can still beat me in that game with my player. I'm the best point guard. Sorry. And my sacrifice was 2K for 4 years. I haven't touched, hey, real quick, y'all clap it up for me real quick. I ain't touched 2K in 4 years. It's almost like a drug. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't touched 2K in 4 years, yo, right? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Cuz, I no more 2K. You know what I'm saying? I'm back next year, swap. But I met my financial mentor on 2K, and his name was YNR Fresh. And he made me a promise. He said, yo, bro, can you get me to the 2K league? I said, bro, I'm not that nice. He said, okay. Can you get me to the combine? Hey, mom, real quick. Hey, mom. She can vouch. Come here real quick. Denzel, you here too, so I think you can tell the truth on this too. Hey, mom, how many hours, was it 80 hours I spent on that 2K that night? Remember that 2K league?
It was ridiculous.
I think I played 80 hours. It took me 2 days. I got my twin, well, we did it together. But I got about 20 people into the combine that day. And then I got a phone call from a light-skinned dude that looked like me. And he said, bro, I'm going to change your life. And now I'm sitting in front of y'all telling y'all that I can change your life if you want to change your own life yourself, right? It's not up to me. It's really up to you, right? So I'm going to say 2 more things, and then I'm going to introduce somebody tonight because I've been keeping them hidden, like really hidden from the world, because I think men like me, Trevor Alexander, Javon Settles, Denzel Hines, Garrett Ledbetter, right? Even my boy, and I ain't gonna say your last name, but hey, you know. Brian, Jalen, J. Nick, right? These are D-Stone. These are special people in my life that I don't ever want to take for granted. So I'm gonna make sure that I continue with 2 more topics, and I'm gonna bring up the special guest for the night, right? How do you get your first 50K in funding? Write this down. My people, oh, I ain't doing it. Trevor, you dealt with it, I'm gonna deal with it. All right, so hear me out, y'all. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. If your personal credit's not over 680, this is still for you. We just gotta work, right? No collections. No late payments. 10 accounts. And let me stop right there for 2 seconds. Not, oh, I got 10 student loans, which are your best tool for funding. Don't let nobody tell you wrong. Student loans are the best thing to have on your credit report. Let me ask y'all a question, because I know y'all want to answer that, right? Because a lot of y'all just look at me sour. Why do you think a credit report, why do you think a student loan on your credit report is a strong asset?
Because when you paying it off, that's good.
Okay, yes.
Good debt. Good debt, yeah.
Not the debt, not that you're paying it off. What's the first thing that they give you? What's that?
Oh, they give you money for going to school, right?
Money for the school. So what's showing on your credit report? The actual loan, right? The face value, right? The face value. So if you have $150,000 in student loans and you're paying it on time, you're lendable up to what?
150K.
150,000. So stop telling people, oh, raise all your student loans. Why? I got $60,000 in student loans. I'm $60,000 more lendable to the bank because they're 100% on time. Don't listen to people that don't have over $700,000 in business credit right now. Now it gets quiet. Let it get quiet, because I'm telling you now, I'm not who y'all think I am. I'm a quiet dude that gets looked at every day, but if you know, you know. Right? If you know, you know. And I don't brag. Matter of fact, look at his shoes right now. That's my shoe of the day. Those are Under Armour's $40, $60. That's a real investor, an asset, and a real millionaire shoe. I'm only wearing this because I was waiting for these since 2012 when I didn't have no money. My mom was taking care of us. I had to be a good kid and just wear what she could afford, right? So today is about knowing that I made it. But I want y'all to know that today, y'all gonna make it too, so I finish the sentence. No collections, no late payments, 10 accounts, credit mix, student loan, auto loan, home loan, credit cards, personal loans, personal line of credit, credit builders. I'm gonna give y'all 5 tonight if you have nothing on your credit account, all right? 2 credit cards, $2,500 or more. That's pivotal. And stop with the trade line stuff. 2,500 or more. People talk about trade lines all the time. Let me ask y'all a question. I'm gonna ask my ladies first. Would y'all put perfume on before you took a shower?
No.
My men, would y'all put on cologne before you took a shower? So why would you add a trade line on while your credit's still messed up? If you put on a 25-year, 25,000, 0%, nothing on it that's been open for 20 years, and you got a 500, 512, and 530 credit report, what do you think that trade line going to do? It's going to do something, but when you go to the bank thinking, oh, go get a car or a house, be like, oh man, I'm about to go get this. Somebody just scammed you. A trade line is for once you wash up, deodorant, and then spray that thing on. So when we go to the bank, it's not going to be a $10,000. First of all, I don't even do nothing less than $15,000 on a credit card. If it's not that, I walk away. Why can't y'all too? I know, look, bro, for VCU right here, me and him used to, that's my dog, don't even understand. Knowing these guys for all my life, Trevor played football and basketball. Why don't y'all have at least $100,000 in business funding? That's not a rhetorical question. Why? Because if I could do it, you could do it too. Right? I'm telling you right now. So where I stop at, so that's really it, and it's that simple, right? The last thing I said was $2,500 more on 2 credit cards. That's all you need, right? And the thing I hear on Instagram, I think is not real, but an LLC.
Yes.
Now, write these 3 things down now. Consulting Enterprise Solutions. Consulting Enterprise Solutions. I don't want to hear y'all say I want to make a hair salon and I want to name it Hair Salon Beauty. No, let's name it Your Name Solutions, right? If you want to go start a real estate company, which I hope, or start investing in real estate, or start a general contracting company, or you want to start giving money to actual investors so they can finish their project, right? It shouldn't be Real Estate Investor LLC. It should be Properties Solutions LLC, right? Do not make your name as vague as possible and put Solutions, Enterprises, or Consulting at the end of it every time. It could be Hines Solutions LLC, right? They don't know what it is. It just looks good, right? You need an LLC. Now, I kind of messed up for y'all tonight. I didn't bring my list of the 7 things that make your LLC, so I messed up on that. And I don't want to over talk tonight. But you need to make an LLC, and you don't need to go to Inc, File, or LegalZoom to do that. You can make it yourself for absolutely free, right? So if somebody's charging you $1,500 to make an LLC, please call me, and we can do it together. And the most you'll spend is going to be $225. You need to get you a virtual address, business phone number, business email. You need an EIN and a DUNS number, website, domain, and you just need to get you a business checking account. Let me ask y'all a question. Where do y'all bank at right now?
Chase.
That's your first business account. Who else?
Chase.
Chase. I love Chase. I love Truist too. You know what I'm saying? Hey, but your first business bank is your bank. Do not forget that. Because why would you say, oh, I just opened up an LLC, let me go to Navy Federal because I heard somebody else say that. My first bank was PNC. I got 75, no, sorry. That's Truist. I got $43,000 from PNC right now. They're the hardest bank to give out business funding to any company. The most I ever heard from anybody was $5,000. I got 15 and 19 the first 2 runs, and now I'm applying for my business line of credit for them now. So 34 plus his business line of credit that should be coming soon, right? Start with your bank because they know all your situations. Don't go nowhere else. Last but not least, and I'll end it here, and I'll introduce the special guest for tonight, and we will have one more speaker as well after the special guest speaker speaks. My why, right? The reason why, and y'all need to know this too, write down my why in capital. Everybody write down my why. Write down my why, because my why is not your why, right? I'm just telling you my why, but I want you to understand why you're going to start doing the different thing that you're doing that's not going to be like yesterday, right? What's my why? My why is to make sure that my mom understands that she didn't raise an effer, right? My why is to let my mom know that I know you can hear me in there, woman. My why is just to let you know that all those years of restitution and scary calls and everything
That's all right. Take your time.
I let my mom down so many times in my life that we fell forward to prevail. So I feel like we finally made it, Bob. So like, I just want to make myself proud, but my mom proud too, because I'm not gonna lie, raising 2 twins as a single mom was crazy. And she did it. So my why is to make sure that I'm never homeless and a bum on the street, and to make sure my mom can eat for the rest of her life and live the way she wants to, because Michelle Cyrus deserves that. So without further you're welcome, baby. And without further ado, I have one more announcement, and I'm gonna let my guy take the stage. So I did tell y'all, and y'all might want to get y'all cameras out for this, because this is gonna be huge for real. Last night at 9 o'clock, I got a phone call from my real estate mentor, and we did it, right? So I want to give flowers today, and I want to make sure that this young man, because why being your age does not describe your whys. Remember that your age does not describe your whys. A young man truly showed me a different way. And tonight, I just want to make sure I give him my flowers and give him the stage so he can just tell him who he is, what he does, and how he will be impacting the communities for years to come. So without further ado, I want to introduce, after 2 years of knowing you, Slim, 2 years of just grinding, and then 2 years of just love, loyalty, and justice to saving me from a $300,000 deal. I'm gonna say that again. This young man we never met, and he saved me from a $300,000 deal. I want to introduce my real estate mentor, my brother, and my friend, Jalen Jordan. Give him a clap, y'all. Amazing, baby. How you feeling, man? You good? That's amazing, man. It's your floor. Do your thing.
Hey, look, don't go nowhere yet, though.
I'm gonna stay here.
Yeah, don't go nowhere yet. So, most of y'all don't know me. Nobody knows me, actually, except Danelle. But, my name is Jalen Jordan. I go by Jalen Living Free on Instagram.
What's up, Jalen?
What's up, brother? How you feeling?
Good, good.
Good, good. So, just here today, Danelle asked me to be here. I didn't know I was 2 hours away from Baltimore, but, you know, we made it either way. But look, that's why I told you to stay here, right? I got something for you.
Oh, shit. Oh, dang.
Go open that up for me real quick, brother.
Let me hold 500.
He don't even know what it is.
That's something you was waiting on. That's something you was waiting on.
Oh, wow.
That's something you was waiting on, Shorty. Yeah.
Hey, we made it, God. We made it. No more credit card debt. Oh, my God.
So basically what's going on right now, which he probably going to cry a little bit, but, you know, I understand why. So,
Calm down.
come back in here real quick, bro.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I don't think I've ever seen this much money at once ever. Hey, I just fucked my head up. All right.
So, let's sit back down now. So, basically what happened yesterday was me and Danelle went to closing on a property we just fixed and flipped together. You know, this is one of many that I fixed and flipped over the last couple years, but this is Danelle's very first property that he fixed and flipped without using any of his own money.
Hold on. Hey, excuse me, y'all. That man has said something, and I need y'all to clap real loud. I got $59,000 on this damn check, and I did not use my own fucking money. Clap the fuck up. Your volume just went up a little bit more. So.
Yeah. So anyway, I was saying, so basically we fixed and flipped the property. I basically acquired the property without using any of my own cash or credit, using a strategy called subject to investing. Y'all definitely want to write that down. So I was able to purchase this property, no credit check, no down payment, no tax returns, pretty much nothing other than a handshake, a signed contract via myself and the seller, and then the deed got transferred into my name. The mortgage stayed in the seller's name for $170,000. And then I called Danelle because, you know, he been posting on Instagram, oh, I got all this credit, you know, yeah, I'm the big credit boss. And I'm like, yeah, you got all that credit, but what you doing with it though, bro? And he was just like, I haven't done nothing with it. You know, I just been stacking it, waiting for a good play. So I'm like, okay, well, I got the right play for you, right? And this was a few months after, like he said, he was about to purchase a property for close to $300,000. And he called me, he said, bro, I want you to come check out this property, bro. Something just don't seem right. I don't feel right. Like, I want you to come check out. This is my first property ever. I said, bro, I'm on the way. You know, especially because it was right in West Baltimore where I was flipping 9 properties on one block.
And he was 5 minutes away.
5 minutes away.
Shorty.
So
Hold on. No, bro. Hold on. Because he forgot a part of the story. You know, I called this guy. He did not pick up the phone.
Yeah.
I'm going to be intimate with y'all. Mom, you know what I'm about to say?
Yeah.
Yo, my feces was red for 3 months.
Stressing.
That day when I called you, you didn't fucking pick up. I was like, oh, he's going to sell me. You know what I'm saying? He's going to sell me. And I opened the back door and all I see was this guy doing this.
I was standing right there. I was already there.
Looking at the roof. At the roof. And what was the next thing you said? We got to go.
I said, bro, we got to go check out the roof. I'm like, you been up there yet? He like, nah, I ain't going up there. I'm like, what you mean? You got to check the roof on your property that you about to purchase. Mind you, he was going to settlement the next day.
$21,000. Can I say one thing before he continues? This is stuff I don't tell y'all. You know why? Because I don't want to seem like y'all can't do it too, but in reality, I've been saying this for 2.5 years and y'all been looking me off. Everybody has. The whole DMV. I don't have not one client in the DMV besides 2 people. That's my cousin Deborah Smith and Michelle Cyrus.
I have a reason.
And then Dell, you got your credit on your own, we know. And my sister who drove 2 hours to come see me. I don't have no clients here, but I'll be quiet. Continue.
So the very next day, he was about to buy this property. The seller was marketed as a 3 unit. I walked in, I said, bro, it's only 2 meters in here. This is not a 3 unit. Like, this is a 2 unit that they're marketing as a 3 unit, and they're charging you way too much. Way too much. Right here in West Baltimore, right in Harlem Park.
Harlem Park. It was $14.75. I could not even remember the house. I've been trying to go back around there. I ain't gonna lie.
So, long story short, I said, bro, this is not a deal. You know, they telling them, oh, you can buy it as is, you can rent it out immediately. I said, bro, no, you gotta put at least $50,000 into this property just to get it able to be rented out. So not only you gotta put down, how much was the down payment? Like
21,000.
Not only you gotta put down 21,000, but then you gotta go take one of your credit cards, liquidate it to get 50 grand just to renovate the property. I'm like, bro, you're gonna be out of pocket 71,000 before even getting a tenant in place. Not to mention you're gonna be in for over 300,000, and it's not even worth that.
Back to teaching, bro. You already fried me. We're not doing that. We're not doing
So-
that again. We're not going through that talk again.
So anyway, so long story short, the very next day he called me. He said, bro, I'm not going through with it. He said, bro, I'm not buying this property. Whatever the case may be, you put down an earnest money deposit of $4,500. You say you lost it.
No. I didn't lose it. I learned.
Okay, you learned.
Change your mindset.
Yep, you learned a valuable lesson.
I learned.
You learned a valuable lesson. And you know what it is though, bro? Sometimes, not sometimes, all the times, we gotta go through those lessons, especially trying to venture into something that you've never done before. Like, you know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
And so I'm extremely grateful that I was there to walk you through it and to say, bro, nah, this ain't the one. This ain't the one. Now, the $4,500 was gone, but what you gained was a mentor in me, right?
At 5,500, at 55,000,
Right?
Jesus Christ.
So I'm like, okay, bro. So probably about 2 months went past. I ain't really hear from you. And then I call you. I'm like, bro, how you doing? You know, like, what's going on? You're like, man, you know, I'm kind of still feeling down about that deal. You know, I really was expecting it to go through. You know, and you would tell me that you felt like a failure to a certain extent. And I'm like, bro, you can't even think like that. You can't think. This is something that you never did before.
Yeah.
You learned. Like you said, you didn't lose, you learned, right?
Yes, sir.
And so I said, bro, look, I got a property up here in the county, actually. I just sold the house right next door to this house.
Shout out to the county.
Right? I just sold the house right next door, 5418 Whitlock Road. Look it up. I sold it for $254,000 October 13th, 2023. And I said, bro, I just bought the house right next door to this one.
Y'all laughing, you serious?
I'm dead serious. I just bought the house right next door to this one.
Before we continue, tell me how old you are.
I'm 27. I just turned 27 in August of 2024.
So hold on real quick before we continue. Imagine me as a 30-year-old man trying to listen to somebody younger than me. Put your pride to the side so you can strive. It's called being humble.
Yep. So I just sold the house right next door. I bought the one on the other side of it. I said, bro, listen, I got an opportunity for you because I seen you posting on the gram, bro. That's what had me messed up. You know, he posted he just got like a credit increase to like 45,000 on one credit card. I'm like, okay, that's cool. You know, I respect it. But what you doing with it though?
These are the 3 cards. These are the 4 cards I'm paying off tomorrow right here.
And man, like I'm like, man, what you doing with it though? Like you got all this credit available, but you haven't turned the credit to cash. You haven't turned the cash to real estate. You haven't turned the real estate to profit.
Got it.
So I'm like, bro, I got opportunity for you. I'm like, that first deal might not have went very well in Harlem Park. You know, you learned a lesson. But I got a deal right here that I want you to invest in with me. Right?
Yes, sir.
And I straight up told him, I said, look, bro, this is how much the renovation is going to be.
It was 170, 30 grand.
The purchase was 170.
30 grand for the, it was 30 grand at first for the rehab.
Yep, 30 grand at first for the rehab.
And he's a general contractor as well, so
Right.
he did all the work. Right?
So that's another thing. I'm also a licensed general contractor in the state of Maryland. So we do full gut renovations for residential properties as well as commercial properties. And so I actually told him, I said, look, bro, give me the 30 grand. I'm gonna let you take you along the whole process. You can see how to flip a house from start to finish, from the demo to the framing to the mechanical, electrical, plumbing, drywall, floors, doors, trim, cabinets, countertops, paint,
Everything.
Island.
you know, the quartz countertops. So he's like, all right, you know, I'm gonna think about it. You know, I'm not really sure, but I'm gonna think about it. I'm like, bro, what's there to think about? You know, you told me you got a couple $100,000 in available credit. Let's make something shake.
Pull my card. Pull the card.
You know, so I'm like, you say you want to be in real estate, you got all this credit, but you're not doing it. Like, bro, let's make it happen. Long story short, I sent him an invoice. He paid it for the 30 grand, and we got started immediately. You know, and then this is the crazy part. So tell him about how the house behind ours sold for.
All right, so yeah, hold on. You shut your mouth here. Let me talk my shit now. So let me tell y'all some real stuff real quick. Do y'all know what comparables are? Raise your hand. Comparables. Trevor, you ready? We know you now. Long story short, because we got one more speaker and we're going to speed it up because I got to give him the floor. Comparables are, it's the amount of a house being sold in the area, right? And I could be wrong, but I'm still learning. So for example, and I'm going to take it. He asked me for $20,000 more after the 30 grand. I said, Jalen, I got faith in you, bro, but I do not believe in you, bro. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I got faith all day long, but you asked me for 20 more grand. I don't know you for real. And he asked for that on September 15th. I'm gonna tell y'all why I know this. I'm gonna say around October or November, I started becoming a real estate investor in the mine, and I found Channing Road. And Channing Road, they sold their house for $330.
$335.
And guess whose house was literally property, alley. Guess who? This 5416 Whitlock.
Yeah.
So you're telling me if I would have had a little bit more faith, that check would have been a little bit fatter. But no. I had faith. If I would have had belief and did my research, right, not secondary, I would have went on Zillow and just would have looked in the area and seen 335 out of all these cribs. Bro, I would have gave you that 50 fast, and I would have said fast, bro.
Yeah.
Because I had
you
it.
know. So anyway, once this property sold right behind ours for $335, I knew for a fact that this house we were working on is not gonna sell for $265 or $270. It's gonna sell for $330 at least. So I said, bro, we gotta put a little bit more effort into it. We gotta put the quartz waterfall island on it. We gotta do the nice accent wall.
Yeah, the joint with the joint.
We gotta do the nice pendant lights over top of the island. And so I said, bro, you gotta throw me another 20 grand. He said, bro, I don't really want to do that. He threw me 10. So I said, bro, don't worry about it. I'll take care of the rest. Got the property finished.
Do y'all hear how methodical his voice is? Though I want y'all to hear this. It's not like he's, hey, bro, I need this 40 right now. Hey, bro, I need 50. I mean, I need extra 20. If you want it, take it. If not, I got it. He never got happy or sad or it's been the same tone the whole time. Yeah. That's a green flag, but continue.
Yeah. So we ended up getting the rest of the money together, finished the property, put it on the market like the beginning of December the 10th, I believe, of 2024 for $330,000. And within 14 days, and it's so funny, man, about belief and about faith, my realtor didn't even have faith the property would sell for $330. After the first 12 days, she said, we need to lower the price to $300. I said, you crazy.
Put too much work in this motherfucker. Oh my God.
You crazy. We not lowering the price at all. It's gonna sell for $330 because the one right across the alley just sold for $335. I'm like, I know.
There's no.
You won't tell me.
Sweat equity is real, family.
You won't tell me it's not gonna sell for $330. I'm an investor. This is what I do. I know it's gonna sell for that. Just have a little faith.
Just a little bit.
Just a little faith. That was 12 days had to be on the market. On day number 14, we got a full price offer for $330,000. Full price. Long story short, under contract, the buyer put a deposit down. They had a home inspection. A couple things on the home inspection repair list. Like I said, I'm a contractor. Fix that up real quick. And just yesterday, January 24th, 2025, we went to closing, sold that property for $330,000. Just like that.
Let you do it, bro. Let you do it.
So that's all I'm gonna say. Well, I don't need the mic.
Go ahead.
I just want to say this to y'all, and then we got one more speaker. I'm gonna call him up here too, because I didn't, you know, he back there. I got the same name. You speaking today, right? I'm just making sure.
He said, okay, I'm speaking today.
So, just want to say this, right? The fastest way to wealth is credit. No, I didn't have 40 grand to give to any man. Cash. But do y'all know what OPM stands for?
Other people's money.
Do y'all know what OPIUM stands for?
Other people's
Other
money.
people's investment.
Other people's insured unused money. That's the money I like to use. And that's business lines of credit. High limit business credit cards, right? This is a whole different ball game, fellas and my ladies. All I need y'all to do is lock in on 3 things. Yourself, faith, well, whoever your God is, because you know we're not good religious, but lock in your faith, your God, and your credit. And your relationships, honestly. Because honestly, me investing into a man that was in Chicago for $5K and keeping loyal to him for the last 3 years of my life, and him being loyal to me for the last 3 years, led me to meeting a man that he didn't know and I didn't know, but he said, follow this. His name is Jalen Living Free. When y'all hear that, did y'all make y'all think twice of what that meant? No? Exactly, because y'all just not there yet. When y'all get there, and when somebody's name is Jalen Living Free, you hit his phone. And I ain't gonna lie, I seen 9 properties in one day.
Facts.
The second time I came up there, I seen about 7 properties. And to this day, I still don't know what his primary residence is. He's doing it. I ain't gonna lie, he's doing it. But I want y'all to know that in a few months from now, we're gonna do something really big. And to even be a part of it, Trevor, Jalen, me, to be a part of it, you have to do 3 things. Credit, funding, and get ready to learn something new. And if that's something that you want to do, we'll have something for y'all very soon. But please follow me on Instagram. I'm going to give it to you. Please follow me on Instagram at TheNellWillWin. And I have a school community that I'll talk about later. It's called Adversity Beaters, where we teach you how to clean your credit score in 30 days or less, how to get your first $50K in funding in less than 38 days, and most importantly, we give you the resources to succeed. But I'm going to give my guy one more second to say his thing, because honestly, I didn't think he was really going to pull up, but you did. So talk to him, bless the mic, my boy.
So the last thing I want to say is just, I'm sure Danelle was talking a lot about credit before I got here, and credit is extremely important. I just want everybody to know what you can do with the credit once you get it. It's not just about having good credit, having a good credit score, going and get the nice Benz, nice BMW, whatever, like the nice house. That's cool and all, but what I taught Danelle and what I'm willing to teach anybody is how to turn that credit into cash. You know, turn the credit into cash, then you take the cash and buy real estate, right? You can fix and flip the property, do whatever you want to do with it. You can keep it as a rental if you want, passive income monthly doing that, which is actually how I got started doing Airbnb, short-term rentals, right? That's how I got the living free part of it. I don't pay mortgages, I don't pay car notes. The people who stay in my houses and rent these rooms from me on Airbnb, they pay for all of that.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? So it's like, that's where I got that from. I quit my job where I was making 6 figures a year doing commission sales back in 2021. I haven't worked a job in almost 4 years now. Because of the short-term rentals, because of Airbnb, because of real estate, because of credit. It all starts with credit, but then it trickles down. You see what I'm saying? And so Danelle's gonna teach you everything that you need to know about the credit. Once you got that, y'all can come holler at me. Danelle will tell you I'm not really on social media like that, but I'm starting to get on there because I realize how much of a need it is. This information that I got, it's all up here. But this is the first time probably ever I done got in front of a camera just shared it with other people. like I'm facts though, right?
No, see, y'all laughing with me, but I've been having
It's facts.
Dog, we're gonna talk about that one later. But you know how long it took me to really get him to, like, y'all don't understand. This man he's a ghost. And I said, bro, I'm gonna make you famous, bro. I'm gonna make you famous, and I'm gonna keep my word now, cause you kept your word, bro.
Sure enough. Told you I would.
Power of credit, hey, the power of credit, real estate,
Relationship, my brother.
Yeah.
I appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
I'm out of here.
Hey, man. Hey, clap it up for Jalen Jordan. Clap it up for Jalen Jordan. Clap it up for Jalen Jordan. So, I'm going to introduce the last speaker. He is the number one of number two, right? Number two, he's been supporting me for a long time. But I would like to introduce Jalen Settles. Come bless the stage, brother. Clap it up for my guy. Clap it up for my guy. Clap it up for my guy.
What up, Gabe?
Talk it up. Talk it up.
Yeah, definitely didn't know I was talking today, but no, all good because I'm hearing a lot of like different information, which is really good. A lot of real estate stuff, credit stuff, and the way that I've saved and invested money has been completely different, right? So I probably say about like maybe 8 years ago, I started listening to this guy called Dave Ramsey, who's a big no debt guy, right? So that's obviously the difference between the credit and the debt, right? But there's more than one way to skin a cat, obviously. But I would say the main reason is because I wanted to limit the amount of money that was coming out of my account so I could save and invest more money, right? And then therefore you can actually get bigger credit lines because you have more money in your account, right? So for me, my big thing was to pay off all my debt, which I did I did that in 2020. So my wife and I, we saved a ton of money. We purchased our first home down here about a couple years ago. But on top of that, we invested all of our money into a brokerage account. And if you guys don't have a brokerage account, I would say the number one thing I do at the end of the night is set up a brokerage account. Anybody can set it up. It doesn't cost any money. And from there, you can make your basic stock investments. If you want to invest in Tesla or Apple or the overall market, right? So all my investments, which I've learned through losing a lot of money, I would say is keep it really simple, right? That would probably be my number one rule to all of it, is keep it really simple. My portfolio is 3 things: cash, S&P, Bitcoin. That's it. I lost over probably $50,000 trying to do options trading.
Me too.
Trying to guess, trying to time the market, trying to do all the crazy stuff, and it didn't work for me. I'm not saying it won't work for everybody else, but when you say you got to learn a lesson, that's a lesson I learned, and it's something where I could never get back into, right? So for me, I would say the easiest way to start investing is invest in the S&P. It's the top 500 companies in the U.S. It's always a 10-year. It's at least 10% on your money over 10 years on the history of mankind. So you put your money in there. Your money is not going to get destroyed by inflation. And the easiest way to look at inflation is if you go to the store, nothing costs $1 anymore. So even if your dollar says $1, it's not worth $1 anymore. You can't purchase anything with it, right? So the number one thing I would say is get a brokerage account, start putting money into an S&P, even if it's $100, $50. Put something in there, because that money that we put into that account helped me buy my first Bitcoin 2 years ago at 30,000. And then that money that we put in there continuously helped me buy my second Bitcoin at 44,000. Bitcoin today, I think, is at 405,000. So I got over 200-some thousand in just that. And that's off of just saving money and putting it into a brokerage account. So when an opportunity became available, I was able to actually buy something. Mm-hmm. And with brokerage accounts, what you have to understand is if the money's not in there, your bank may take a long time to clear your money, right? If you wanted to go today and purchase something on an exchange, you can't put $100,000 in there right now. Your bank is going to take weeks to clear it, even if you had the money. Credit, no credit. So the best way to be ready is have money in the account. The only way to have money in the account is to put money in the account. So I would say personally, even if you don't want to use that money for anything, you can actually borrow against your money in your brokerage account and use it as credit and never cash out any of your investments. So you could take, say, for example, you had $100,000 in there, and like you said, you know what, I want to put $50,000 worth down on a property. You could work out with your exchange. You could borrow against it, never sell your stocks. You would just make a payment on the $50,000 you borrowed. That's it. So my main thing is just be prepared. And putting money into that account got me prepared. So now I don't look at my regular bank account for anything. I look at my brokerage account. So I would put money in a brokerage account, have an emergency fund if something goes crazy. But the number one way to be ready, I say, have a brokerage account. Because that thing made me freaking out when things are freezing and I'm trying to transfer my money this way. I don't have access to it. I already know where my money's at. So I would say the number one thing to do is open a brokerage account tonight. It costs no money. Robinhood, Webull, Vanguard, anything. Open it up, put money into it. So the next time there's an opportunity that arises, you're able to actually pounce on it. So that would probably be my biggest advice. And like I said, it doesn't go directly with what everybody else has been talking with tonight, which is fine because there's obviously multiple ways. There's multiple ways to make money. It doesn't always have to be my way. My way might not work for you, but that guy's way might work for you, and that's perfect. But I'm saying the way that helped me and lowered all my risk was pay off everything, and it's boring as hell. And you can't do nothing. You ain't going on trips. You ain't posting pictures. You just saving money. And it looks boring as hell for a couple years. But now, I do whatever the hell I want. Literally. So, that's what it's about, man. So, I got you too, though. So, but, and I do have the opportunity, if my mom really does need something, I can help her out, you know? And I have that peace of mind. She has that peace of mind as well. So, like I said, if you don't take anything from me tonight, just open a brokerage account. It is not going to kill you. I promise you. People make it seem like free of charge. Matter of fact, they probably will give you money for signing up to make a brokerage account. So I would do that personally. It's made me money. It's saved me money because once I put money in there, I don't touch it. So I would say that's the best way, in my view, to make some money, get started, and it's really cool seeing the numbers go up in there, for sure. And it gives you a little bit more confidence as well. So that'll probably be my advice. I'm not gonna take everybody's time up, but keep doing your thing, man. If you have any questions, literally feel free to ask me. I talk about this stuff all the time with my friends. So yeah, just let me know.
How can we reach you?
I give you my phone number.
Yeah, man.
So, I'm not going to say this is the end of the sip and spill. Let me sit down real quick. But just to finish some things off, just to get some small things and details. You are all enough, and done is better than perfect because perfect is never done. Alright? So this is the end of the sip and spill. Does anybody have, well actually, hold on. Trevor, Jalen, come on up. Trevor, Jalen, Auntie. Come on. While everybody's here, I know we all can't take a seat, and I know the camera ain't gonna. Matter of fact, nope. So watch this. Hold on, I got it. We're not taking pictures. Just you'll see what we're doing. No, go to the front. Go to the front. You gonna see?
Let me put a chair over there so you guys can sit down.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
All right.
Oh, see, there's one more. Oh, Jalen. I got you.
All right. So everybody, real quick, I have everybody's attention. We all should be looking at this real quick. These are all the speakers of tonight. Jalen, you gotta come up here too. I ain't forget about him. He was talking. I ain't want to interrupt him. So while we're all up here, we got 10 minutes. Does anybody have questions for select fews? Because just for time, we can all get our questions in. If you have a specific question for anything, we got 10 minutes. We'll give the mic to you. I'll come and walk the mic to you. Do y'all, anybody have any questions in the back, front, side to side? Any questions tonight?
I have a question. I am all the way in Southwest Virginia. Like where I live at, if you throw a rock, it'll land in Tennessee. So I'm extremely around all Caucasian people. That's not of us, what I see here. Is my investment opportunities as great as it is up north, say like it is around our people here?
Give it to Trevor, you guys.
What part of West Virginia you in?
I'm in Radford, Virginia.
You're in Radford. Oh, you're in Radford, Virginia. Oh, at least said West. Okay, you're in the western part of Virginia.
Yes.
Okay, at first I thought you were saying the West Virginia state.
Not West Virginia, Western Virginia.
Western Virginia. Okay, yeah, I'm familiar with Radford by the university. It's money everywhere. It's deals, money everywhere. There's always somebody doing real estate. I would say that if you are familiar and you see opportunity, number one, I have someone in Radford that I can connect you with from a real estate perspective. We got 16,000 black agents, broker agnostic that we do business and share referrals between. Number one. Number two, if you're comfortable and you know Radford and you're listening to real estate professionals and you're picking up on seeing these trends, then send deals our way. We can help you analyze, look at numbers, and if the numbers check out, then there's money to be made. Because there's some white people out there making money in Radford. That's for sure. There's some white people out in Radford making money. It's not as high priced as anything within an hour of the DMV, of DC, but it's still some money in Radford. And if you're not comfortable with it, or if you want to invest in another community, your dollar is your dollar, right? It can be invested in other projects, even if it's not in Radford. And that's what the networking piece is for. But I'll connect with you and get you connected with my Radford guy.
Thank you. Sure.
Any more questions tonight? Any more questions tonight before we wrap up? And that was a great question, sir.
I got a question. So this is a credit question. So I already have pretty good credit and I have some credit cards, but I'm wondering on what's your trick on increasing my credit limit?
Great question.
So I post this about this daily. Not to brag, but this month alone, I've acquired $125,000 in business funding, and that's from the 1st till it's the 27th or 25th, till the 25th, right? 40K of that has been increasing my credit limits, right? What credit cards do you have though?
I have the American Express. I have Capital One.
Hey, Capital.
You hate Capital One? Yes. Capital One. Fidelity. I got a Fidelity credit card. I think that's about all of them. The Capital One, I got 2 of those.
So you can do that with all those, but the main thing is Navy, Federal. I always start with Navy, right? So if you don't have Navy, please get Navy. And if you don't know how to get Navy, you can use the backdoor method. Call them to say that your grandfather fought in the Navy and that you can't specify it, they'll get you in there.
Actually, I got people in the military. I think
You can call.
I can get there.
If you have a family member that has an account reference number, ARN, and also on a credit report, did y'all know the only way that they can say your negative is yours is through your address? So if you delete the address, you delete the what? The account. So keep that in mind as well. But to your point, I don't know about Capital when they give you 300 cards for one low limit credit card, so I don't mess with them at all, at all. They give high limits too, but just in my world, I don't think they're gonna give me one because I never did no business with them. And then Fidelity, I don't know about Fidelity. And then your last credit card was
Amex.
Amex. On the I don't have no personal Amex cards, only business. But I know on the business side, you just call, ask for a credit limit increase, or they watch your spending for the year. So Amex cards is about I'm gonna call consistency, right? The more you use it, they look at your limits and they increase and decrease it off that alone.
Yeah, because like a charge card. Yeah. Okay.
Which one you got?
I got the pink one.
That's the gold.
Rose gold.
Amex gang.
Yeah, get them on the business.
Hi. What are some secure investments that you could suggest for, I'm still a 9-to-5er. I want multiple streams of income. I don't desire to be a business owner yet. However, I want multiple streams of income to be able to live more on the freer side.
Side note, I would say nothing wrong with having a 9-to-5.
At all.
Not at all. I still got a 9-to-5.
Me too.
I just look at it as free money. You go there, you get your money.
That's what I said no with the jury duty last week.
Yeah.
I got 2 checks last week.
I mean, hey, you can automatically count on those checks, right?
Yep.
9-to-5. Use that money to then go do other stuff with, right? But as you would say, secure investment.
Like non-scam. I know there's a lot of
Okay,
stuff
so,
there's stuff going on, but I'm not sure how to secure.
What I would say is the safest stock investment, I would say, is the S&P 500.
S&P 500?
S&P 500.
It's a bunch of stocks in one.
So look at it like this. Instead of just buying, for example, you want to buy Apple or Tesla or Microsoft. You're buying a bunch of stocks in one fund. right? And those stocks have allocations within that fund.
Or ETF.
So if you had $100 and you bought the S&P, $5 would be in Apple, $3 would be in Microsoft, $2 would be in Nvidia, and that's how it's broken out. So when some of those companies go down, it's not going to affect your $100 because there's companies going up in it, right?
Okay.
So those are funds, ETFs, which are very easy to invest in and pretty much minimal to very low risk, right? Over time, they're going to go up. So that's why I said open a brokerage account and just dump money in there while you're trying to figure out everything else.
That as well as the Roth IRA?
Yeah, so you can do a Roth IRA as well. Those are retirement accounts. Those are great as well. I personally don't have them. Like I said, I'm a little bit different, but there's nothing wrong with them. And those are not taxable, free money. So that's a good thing. But what I'm saying is, if you want to put money in there, that's great, but you can't touch that money either for a while, right? Or you wouldn't want to. You can borrow against it, but I wouldn't borrow against your retirement, right? So regular brokerage, S&P, dump money in there until you figure out what the hell you want to do with it. It's something I want to do with it. But that account, and you start putting money in it, you start seeing your first 5, your first 10, 15, 20, 30, then you might not want to take the crazier. I might put 5 into this, see what happens. But once you start building out the account, then I feel like you'll be able to make a more decision. Right? I tell people all the time, what you want when you make $50,000 a year is not what you want when you make $200,000 a year, right? You don't want the same car, you don't want the same house. So it's easier, it's harder to wait, but it's safer to wait, right? Like I said, these guys, they're killing it as well. We just have different ways of doing it, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. So this guy killing it. Housing killing, doing really well. The real estate market. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I said, whatever makes you comfortable, put your money into that. And if you don't understand it, don't put any. Literally. Lose your fucking money.
Yeah.
Literally.
Number one, did I turn this off? I'm loud anyway. Apologize for being late, guys. How all this wine? Because how would I want to start like making liquor and get into that type? Not even liquor, but like this is interesting for real. Because like, how did you start all of this? Like, how?
I just took some classes and stayed
said,
with
"I
it
like
and
this."
just kept
That's it.
tweaking it and
And it's good too.
Hey, yeah.
you can only go so far with alcohol. You can't advertise because it's alcohol. So
Kept
I
it
was
going.
just too much money, and so I just said, let me open up an LLC. And I opened up the LLC in 2020, so not knowing I would ever have a winery, I just did it because I needed a tax write-off. And so eventually I quit my job, and because I was making the wine all along. So I said, I'm just gonna try it. I can always go back to work.
Always go back.
Bad.
They always hire.
Yeah. So I just kept at it, just getting feedback, from people.
We have another question.
I just want to say, as a staff member of Vibing with Val, yes, all those things are is extremely humbly modest. She's supporting Black mothers. She's supporting Black men. She's very intentional about ensuring that she's helping other people and showcasing individuals that sell popcorn, individuals that sell t-shirts, and the small businesses. And she is literally the example of the heart of the hustle with kindness, okay? Because all of us, sometimes in our culture, we don't always do it with kindness and with grace. So Val, take your flowers, because this was
So on that note, before everybody leaves, it's just tradition for me, from my mentor, Lamont Lashley Jr., that we all take a picture. So we gotta find somewhere, if we can go outside, we can do it in front of her thing right there. We can try to find some way, but we all take a picture. And I want everybody to stand up real quick. Everybody stand up. Everybody stand up. Everybody stand up. You gotta stand up for this. I had a vision about and even though it's just here, it doesn't matter where it is, it's here. I had a vision about this when I did, do my first anything with credit. Y'all know my Instagram name is Danelle Will Win, right? So on 3, and don't do it right now, right? I'm telling y'all what to say, right?
What's the Instagram name?
Oh, my name on Instagram is Danelle Will Win, right?
One more time.
My name is Danelle Will Win.
One more time.
Danelle Will Win. So manifest your name, but on 3 and not right now. Just listen to what I'm telling y'all to say. We will win. All right. On 3, not yet. On 3, we will win. All right. Hey, Turb, I love you. Turb, I love you. But we will win. All right. On 3, DJ, on 3, we will win because everybody here right now and. I don't want to say your address wrong. At Vibing with Val, it's 10691.
What's the address?
You know what I'm saying? 10691 Spotsylvania Ave. We will win on 3. 1, 2, 3. We will win. Y'all felt that chill? God damn! Whoa. And that's the end of the Sip and Spill, family. Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. We out, family.
We need a group photo. Mr. Photographer. And of everybody. I want, did you get the pictures of everybody?
Pleasure meeting you, bro.
Before they leave, we got some.
I gotta stop you. Don't hit that.